Look how they massacred my boy.
The Nemesis, a lot more intelligent than most tyrants, a lot more terrifying than Mr. X, with one central goal: to kill STARS members, and he can use weapons! Most fans would think that Capcom would take the original Nemesis, expand, and even improve on it.
Right?
Wrong! How did you manage to screw this up so badly? I'm getting ahead of myself. Hey everybody, welcome back to another Resident Evil video, more specifically a Resident Evil 3 Remake video, because I have always had a soft spot for this game because of its untapped potential, because of the ideas that it does present compared to its predecessor. Now, with them actually recently adding the classic Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3 to the PlayStation catalog, and it actually gave me an idea of looking at the original Nemesis and thinking of ways it could have improved on the original AI and what they could have taken from it and what they could have added on to it. We'll say this video is going to expand and also take inspiration from the final section of how Capcom should have made Resident Evil 3 video that I did a long time ago, and also some concept ideas from a fellow Resident Evil YouTuber. With all that out of the way, let's actually get into the video.
Resident Evil.
Starting with the original classic Nemesis to compare against, just like the remakes coming off of Mr. X from Resident Evil 2, Nemesis in this game is a massive step up from that. When Capcom was designing Resident Evil 3 Classic, Raccoon City, which was a backdrop in some of the previous games, became the main HUD or world of this game that you can explore, with tons of nooks and crannies compared to the closed-off nature of the RPD or the Spencer Mansion. And Nemesis was designed with that in mind because of the more open map, some of the limitations that held Mr. X back because of the more claustrophobic nature of the RPD are not prevalent in Nemesis in Classic, and they also designed Nemesis as a stalker to be a lot more intelligent to learn from what you're doing. Yes, his AI is not perfect, and you can still exploit things, but he's incredibly difficult to actually take down. And that intelligence is what made Nemesis so amazing as a stalker, compared to Mr. X, who, yes, even in the remake, is still made with that claustrophobic nature in mind, along with him having a scripted moment where in both games, Mr. X slowly stomps around. Nemesis, on the other hand, can slowly walk towards you, or he can book it and run towards you like a high school quarterback on football Sunday. Not only can he grab you like Mr. X, he can also use his tendrils to grab you and pull you back towards him, making it extremely difficult to actually get away from him. But a lot of these core concepts made Nemesis such an amazing and visceral adversary to actually fight. But what exactly did the remake take from these core concepts, and did it actually add its own ideas? This is a part of the video where I'm a little negative. Despite this remake having a lot of complaints and a lot of obvious freaking problems, I'll give credit where credit's due. It did try to pull from the original game design of what made Nemesis so great. At least when it comes to the way that he can get you. He can use weapons, he can use his tendrils, and he can obviously hit or grab you. But some of the things that I was praising about Nemesis in the original are really not here in the remake. The smart AI that learned from what you were doing occasionally, gone. Wide open map that exploited Nemesis's AI, kind of here and kind of gone. The only new and original idea that this remake presents is the idea of him using multiple weapons, not just his rocket launcher. And we can see that a lot prevalently in the concept art, with Nemesis being able to use multiple weapons, and there are concepts of him even being able to use a minigun. When you look at the concept art, you can see that they did try to mimic a lot of what made Nemesis so great from the original game, especially with this concept of him being able to use more than one weapon. We can actually see that to full effect in the remake, with him being able to use a flamethrower and also his original attacks as well. The only issue is that this idea is so great that it isn't used to its fullest potential for the character of Nemesis. And that leads me into the final section of the video of actually fixing RE3 Remake Nemesis. Now, when it comes to my approach of actually fixing Nemesis, I wanted to take a bit of a Ganados approach from Resident Evil 4 Remake, where RE4R took the classic Ganados and also added onto their gameplay with brand new things as well. When it comes to their parasite mechanics, I want to take a very similar approach with Nemesis, merging the old and new together, taking the things that I praised about the classic Nemesis when it comes to its intelligence and other various things, the one central new idea that the remake bring to the table with Nemesis being able to use use more than one weapon, and merging these concepts together, and also taking inspiration from other various things as well. Let's actually get things started by fixing Nemesis's AI. I want to take the intelligence of the AI of the classic Nemesis without making him a nuisance or too difficult. You're always on the chase and you are scared of him because of how intelligent he can be. Partially inspired by a certain segment in a fellow Resident Evil YouTuber's video about the Stalker in Resident Evil 9, I wanted to take inspiration from that when improving Nemesis, because the brand new Stalker takes from games like Alien Isolation when it comes to its intelligence and not falling for the same trick twice. And that's an amazing element. Also wanted to expand on that element, taking a bit of inspiration from Arkham Knight and also Arkham City with the Mr. Freeze boss fight. Now, I know this element is not going to make much sense, but I'm going to try to explain it in the best way I can, where I see the AI not only being intelligent enough only to not fall for the same exploits twice, but also sometimes providing counters to what you're doing, basically forcing the player to think up a different strategy, take on Nemesis with the environment or your own exploits. This whole element would introduce a whole new level to Nemesis's AI that he didn't have in the original, where he becomes not just a chase, but also a game of cat and mouse where you have to outthink him before he outthinks you. Very similar to the android in The Incredibles, where Nemesis can actually counter certain things that you're doing, even when it comes to your weapons. Let's say you're trying to throw a grenade at him and it actually does hit, or a flashbang and it actually does stun him, but if you try to do that again, maybe it might not work and he will use a tendril to throw it back at you, forcing you to have to dodge, but if you're not quick enough, you'll be stunned by your own weapon, basically forcing you to have to think of a different strategy because you can no longer use that exploit on him. Even trying to use the environment or safe rooms to your advantage might not work, or you're trying to run away from him and he doesn't follow you inside the building and actually cuts you off at your exit points. And if you try to double back, he can maybe anticipate that, actually following you inside the building. These small changes to his AI would make him a lot more dangerous, but obviously he would have some limitations to where he wouldn't be too overpowered, so this way he doesn't feel like a nuisance. Also, exploiting the fact that he would have multiple weapons, he could actually use them while chasing you this time around, and sometimes actually use that intelligence against you. For instance, if he has the flamethrower, sometimes he can cut off certain areas, lighting them on fire, forcing you to have to double back into him or take damage going through the fire. Or for instance, shoot it from a distance, knocking red barrels or cars, forcing you to have to dodge explosions, but sometimes you'll obviously take damage. A little bit different, but same deal with the rocket launcher and also the tendrils as well. I believe these changes would actually fix Nemesis in the RE3 remake. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, whether you agree, disagree, or let me know some of your own ideas and your own fixes. Make sure to like this video if you did enjoy, or change it to a dislike if you didn't, that's perfectly fine, and subscribe if you're new. And hit the bell notification button to be notified whether I upload, whether it's Devil May Cry, Resident Evil, or any other content under the sun. Have a good rest of your guys and gals, night, morning, afternoon, or whatever it is for you in the world. Have a happy Halloween season. Peace out. Bye-bye.